My last memory with him was when he was in the hospital. He was lying in the hospital bed, and he couldn't move, and he couldn't speak, nor could he talk, but he could hear. So I held his hand, and my father told me to recite a few verses from the Quran. So I recited Surah Swat. My dad had one dream. He had one last dream in his life. That dream was to see me finish the Quran and finish my hifz, and to see me become a strong hafiz.
Inshallah.
My dad used to tell me that once I become a hafiz, he would throw a big party here in Deoband. But he told me a few things before his surgery too. He told me two things. The first thing he told me was to focus on my studies. And the second thing he told me was to become a strong hafiz. He made me promise him that I would never give up on hifz, and that I would always focus on my Quran. At that time, I was young, and I never realized that I should finish hifz quickly, because I didn't have that much time left with my grandfather. And I thought that I had plenty of time to finish my hifz, and that my dada would see me become a hafiz. But instead, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had a different plan. And at that time, I didn't understand how important my grandfather's work was for the Muslim Ummah. My grandfather's work was noble and respectable. His work was for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for only the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was for the Muslims of the Muslim Ummah, and it was for those who seek knowledge. Now I understand that, and I regret it gratefully. In this book, my dada wrote the sirat of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I think that that's a fitting end for someone who devoted his whole life to follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's sunnah and to implement it into his life. And now his last book is about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This book that my dada wrote, this is his last tribute to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to every Muslim in the Muslim Ummah. But his legacy doesn't end here. His legacy lives on in me and all of you. His legacy lives on in the people he wrote for, the people of the Muslim Ummah. All the Muslims across the world, his legacy is in them. And as long as Iman and Deen are in the Muslim's heart, his legacy is in their heart. And his legacy won't die, as long as Iman won't die within us. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah.